everybody. My name is Courageous Fire, the founder and CEO of Courageous Fire LLC, and I always update before I go to the human services classes over at DMAC. So here I am updating my information, and I ran into the information about the Istanbul Convention. So there was a Council of Europe Convention on preventing and combating violence against women back in, I feel like what I've seen so far looks like maybe 2011, 2010. Way back then, Europe understood that coercive control is not a type of domestic violence, that it is literally the linchpin that holds all types of domestic violence together. Why does that matter so much? Because when we are looking for isolated incidents of physical violence, we are already too late to prevent serious injury, to prevent homicides. Again, global experts see coercive control as the linchpin that holds all types of domestic violence together. So what is coercive control? It literally is the way that a perpetrator finds the specific things that feel like the most excruciating and disturbing and paralyzing types of punishment for their victim. And then they use those punishments or the threat of those punishments to control the victim's behavior. When people ask the question over and over again, well, why doesn't she just leave? Coercive control is the reason why she doesn't. The very individualized punishments chosen by the perpetrator that the victim finds paralyzing, terrifying, disturbing, that's the reason why. Because they know that those punishments mean more is coming that's even scarier and even more paralyzing and even more intimidating than the punishments themselves. And that's exactly the point. So coercive control, very often, the threat of coercive control can be as simple as a person changing positions in a chair, whistling a certain song, bringing home a certain type of fast food. All of these things are things that if a bystander looked, they would be like, well, that doesn't look like abuse to me. That's just him bringing home food for the family. That doesn't look like coercive control to me. He just had a song on his mind and he started whistling it. What's the big deal? There was a thriller back in, the 70s or 80s? And every time, and it was a supernatural thriller, so every time the evil spirit jumped into a new host, that host would begin to whistle that song. Even though the thriller had nothing to do with domestic violence, it truly does illustrate how insidious coercive control can look and how undetectable it can be unless you actually understand what you're looking at and what you're looking for. So once the Istanbul Convention was adopted on May 11, 2011, and entered into force on August 1, 2014, Article 33 has led to individual countries enacting specific domestic violence legislation to criminalize coercive control. That means in these countries, coercive control, not waiting for isolated acts of physical violence, severe violence, not waiting for that, not waiting for anything else except coercive control for it to be a criminal offense. England and Wales in 2015, Ireland in 2018, it became effective in 2019, Scotland, same thing, enacted it in 2018, became effective in 2019, Northern Ireland 2021, United States, oh my God, how many more? homicides, attempted homicides, homicides, suicides. Do we have to see how much of this has to happen in the United States for us to start looking at Article 33 of the Istanbul Convention? Yeah, it was the Council of Europe, but so what? Let's learn some things. Again, there are several global experts, Evan Stark, Jane Monkton Smith, Dr. Emma Katz, just to name a few, who look at coercive control as the linchpin that holds all types of domestic violence together. That being true, and yes, as a national expert, I absolutely throw my name into the ring as yet another one who believes the same, sees it the same. If that were to be a criminal offense in the United States, we could save a whole lot more lives. We could save so many more lives of direct homicide, so many more lives of indirect cause of domestic violence if we adopted criminalizing coercive control. Let's think about it, y'all. I'm Courageous Fire.